Ooh, you know, I'm gonna go get 2 little candles so we can have some ambiance. Hey, it's Maren, and in this video we're going to be talking about Saturn entering Aquarius, what this transit means, how long it will be taking place, what we can expect from it, and what larger themes it will be participating in. So just to understand the time frame here, Saturn will enter Aquarius on March 21st of 2020. On May 11th, Saturn will station retrograde at 1 degree of Aquarius, so when it's entering Aquarius, it will already be moving pretty slowly. On July 1st, Saturn will re-enter Capricorn. On September 29th, Saturn will station direct in Capricorn at 25 degrees. And then finally, on December 17th of 2020, Saturn will re-enter Aquarius. So during 2020, when I'm filming this in January 2020, we will have Saturn going back and forth between Aquarius and Capricorn. So the themes of Saturn entering Aquarius will begin to pick up and begin to be signified, whereas the themes will be firmly set in place for us to embody and understand at the end of 2020 into 2021. So first off, let's understand what Saturn means. Saturn is a planet that signifies limits, boundaries, structures, practicality. It's the furthest visible planet out of the 7 traditional planets. So it's more or less significant of the structure of reality that we can manifest in and of itself. In a chart, it can also signify authority figures, superiors, or powerful institutions at hand. And it can also signify reaping what you sow, or your clear return on investments. Aquarius itself is a Saturn-ruled sign, contrary to the modern astrology saying that Aquarius is ruled by Uranus. I, as a traditional astrologer, do not ascribe to the outer planets ruling any signs, so Aquarius is not associated with Uranus, it is not associated with the 11th house. Its significations are derived from its rulership of Saturn in its yang, or its masculine home. Saturn rules 2 signs, Capricorn, its yin passive home, and Aquarius, its yang assertive home. So whereas Saturn in Capricorn, I like to think of it being top-down boundaries of pruning down or of simplifying, Saturn in Aquarius is bottom-up boundaries of inclusivity through foundations. It's still a very practically minded sign, but practicality in terms of building from the past into the future, not so much Capricorn, which is looking for security and foundations more so based on past. Aquarius is a fixed air sign, also known as a tropical air sign. It's the heart and soul of wintertime, the solidification of wintertime themes. So because it's fixed air, we can think of it as the condensing or materialization of up-in-the-air thought forms. Aquarius is innovative in the way that it can bring down the imperceptible thought forms and what exists in the realm of ideas into the manifest practical reality. Again, this does not come from Uranus or the 11th house in any senses of any, it does not, just get the 12-letter alphabet out of here for now. So with Saturn leaving Capricorn, it is leaving its yin home of top-down boundaries to exclude. It's also departing from a co-presence with the planet Pluto, which has been there since 2008, which has focalized or expanded upon some of the problematic Saturnian qualities of imposing limits or restraints or othering. Leaving its co-presence with Pluto will allow for Saturn to get some room to breathe and manifest without the crisis of implosion or explosion. My dishwasher's being loud, we'll wait a moment. It's also departing from a presence with the nodal axis, as it was sharing a sign with the south node of the moon since 2018, which was highlighting the life-sucking, saddening restraint of Saturn and making the Saturnian awareness of limits a bit more depressing. There was definitely a Dementor, like from Harry Potter, you know, the Dementors. If you don't, you can ignore this. But there's definitely a Dementor energy to Saturn and the South Node in Capricorn. It was a time of letting go of nonsensical limitations. Now Saturn can be less overwhelmingly malefic and start rebuilding. So, some expectations for Saturn in Aquarius. Will probably be a rebuilding of a paradigm, of thought paradigms, with seriousness and yet a desire for change. Aquarius is not the rebellious, futuristic archetype it's conflated with Uranus to be. It's more to do with upholding ways of the past in ways that are innovative for the future. It's kind of this energy of nerding out about history in order to conducively transmute those structures to support us here and now. It's still a serious time. I mean, Saturn is still in its home, but it's in its yang home, which highlights more active building rather than passive detraction. It's time to implement the necessary inclusive boundaries that we've been yearning for over the past few years. It's still a time for the condensing sobriety of structural change, but now with a more lighthearted enthusiasm of engaging with the limits of reality. Another side note to be aware of is that when Saturn ingresses into Aquarius, it will immediately meet and conjoin Mars. This transit very well may come with a bang, or an unexpected challenge to both go full speed ahead and an urge to stomp on the brakes at the same time. Like, we really want to implement these changes, but we're really second guessing our ability or expectation to. The initial ingress may quite be more shocking than the rest of the transit may quite be. It's probably going to be more a shock immediately than it will throughout the transit. Or this Mars conjunction may characterize Saturn and Aquarius as poignantly more energetic and aggressive than Saturn and Capricorn. Saturn will loosely square Uranus in Taurus before it retrogrades back into Capricorn, which we can see as the process of restructuring institutional systems, being met with the urge to overthrow manifestations of past hierarchy completely. Energy of serious reformulation is met with a radical rebellion against the status quo. The middle of the year may definitely be hallmarked by some tensions who want to change the world slow and steady through respectful contemplation versus those who want to immediately overthrow mass systems at all costs. This will be a dynamic much more present in 2021, though the June-July period will give us a bit of a preview. And near the end of 2020, in December, Jupiter will conjoin Saturn at 0 degrees of Aquarius, which I'm sure I will do a whole lot more content and videos on as this approaches, because this is a big deal. This is expanding the implementation of serious thought structures. It's hallmarking a tangible new age of air signs. And it's making it clear that we are not going back to the old, dense ways of living, because what is both necessary and valuable right now is blossoming into newness. And this is not just like any conjunction, like this is literally a cycle ending. The last conjunction was in Libra. This is a conjunction that traditionally over time has marked the era beginning of a new age, because Saturn and Jupiter are the outermost visible traditional planets. So I'll do a whole video on that. I won't get into that here, but it is an important thing to be noteful of. So now we'll get into what this transit signifies for each sign, where it will be ingressing into each house based on your rising sign. So for Aries risings, this will be ingressing into your 11th house of groups, networking, and friends. So new limitations will probably be arising around socializing in your life. For Taurus risings, Saturn will be entering your 10th house of career and public image, where you can expect some restructuring, some condensing, or some challenges around the outermost, most public areas of your life. For Gemini risings, this will be entering your 9th house of higher long-distance travel, higher education, long-term philosophy studies. So some restructuring around dreams or high-distance plans might be in your horizon. For Cancer risings, this will be entering your 8th house of shared finances and joint assets. You can expect some restructuring or challenges around assets and bonds, deep bonds that you share with a partner. Lighting change, sorry about that, had to come back and film later because I realized my camera cut off. But anyway, for Leos, this will be in your 7th house of relationships and partnerships, indicating new boundaries, challenges, and structures happening in your areas of one-to-one bonds, whether that is romantic or business or simply in general with other close relationships and people. For Virgos, this will be in your 6th house, relating to health, physical body, and illness, coworkers as well. So this might have to do with getting a grapple with a new health or exercise routine that's really necessary to take care of your physical body. Could also be a time of dealing with certain illnesses popping up, or it could be a time of coming to terms with relationships with coworkers and interpersonal office dynamics. For Libra risings, this will be in your 5th house of romance, children, and art, creativity. So this could be a time of new challenges, limitations, and structures being implemented around the things that bring you joy and creativity in your life. For Scorpio risings, this will be in your 4th house of home, family, and property. So this will be a time of new structures taking place and new limitations and challenges around the really intimate parts of your life relating to home, your physical family, your physical property, or the idea of ancestry and lineage in your life. For Sagittarius risings, this will be in your 3rd house of communication, short-term travel, and siblings. So there may be more challenges regarding siblings or comrades in your life. There could also be increased limitations around communication, writing projects, or long distance or like short-term studies could be of more seriousness in your life. For Capricorn risings, this will be in your 7th house of finances and possessions. So it could be more limitations and a more frugal time period for you around money. Could also simply mean that you're getting serious about what values and financial structures are in your life. Finally, for Aquarius risings, this will be in your 1st house of self, physical body, and identity. So probably a more serious time of limiting down who you see yourself as, a time of getting really serious about taking care of your physical vessel. It might be a time of condensing or limiting what you see yourself becoming. For Pisces risings, this will be in your 12th house of subconscious, of inner states, of exile, of hidden enemies. So any of those things could have limitations popping up around them. Could be a time of getting serious about a meditation routine, about spirituality. Could be a time also of getting really serious about where you self-destruct in general. So happy stuff, I know, right? Anyway, if you found this helpful and you are looking forward to, or if you have any thoughts around Saturn and Aquarius, I am so interested to hear what you're thinking and what you're feeling around where this is coming into your chart, what you're expecting, what you're looking forward to, maybe what you're not. Also, if you are an astrologer, a tarot reader, if you are someone interested in astrology or tarot or any metaphysical services like Reiki or breathwork or acupuncture, yoga, my website Rashi Collective is a space for all of those types of people to collect and to come together to find their ideal clients and their ideal practitioners. So it's a space for you to hold space in terms of connecting spiritual clients with their ideal practitioners and vice versa. So if you are part of the spiritual community, Rashi is linked down below for you to come join. Also, I offer private astrology consultations myself, and I would love to read for you, so check it out below. Otherwise, like, subscribe, do all the things, and I will see you in the next video.